All right, so we're diving deep today into what it takes to become a colonel.
Not just become one, but really nail that interview.
You bet. And we've got some awesome material from RoleCatcher to help us out. Their career guide, their interview guide, even some stuff on how AI can give you an edge.
What's really interesting is that this isn't just any job, right? We're talking about the folks at the heart of military strategy.
Advising top brass, making decisions that impact, well, everything.
Literally shaping the outcome of operations. High-stakes stuff.
And the RoleCatcher guide really lays it out. Like what a colonel actually does day to day.
It's not all just fancy salutes and parades, is it?
Nope. We're talking analyzing intelligence, formulating plans, overseeing mission.
Immense responsibility. Their judgment affects troop movements, resource allocation, the whole 9 yards.
And get this, RoleCatcher goes even further. They've got these example profiles of colonels at different career stages. Entry level, junior, mid, all the way to senior.
Oh, that's smart. So you can see the path, the kinds of certifications and training that.
Exactly. It's like a roadmap for how to tailor your experience to stand out in the interview.
Because knowing the general responsibilities is one thing, but weaving in your own story, that's how you impress. Like, if you've led a team in a similar situation to that junior level colonel, boom, mention it.
Right. Or have a certification that aligns with the mid-level profile. Highlight that.
Personalization is key.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the AI angle. This is where it gets really cool. RoleCatcher has this tool that actually analyzes job descriptions
Oh yeah, I read about this. It helps identify skills you might be missing on your CV.
and then suggests improvements.
Saves you from getting lost in the black hole of online applications.
Because AI is often the first hurdle, right?
Yeah.
So this is like your secret weapon.
Eat the bots, get noticed by the humans.
Precisely. And they even have AI feedback on practice interview answers.
Tailoring everything specifically for this role. Huge advantage.
Okay, enough teasing. Let's get to the heart of the matter.
The interview itself.
RoleCatcher has these 10 key questions they say are almost guaranteed to come up,
Maybe we're going to break them down, not just what they're asking,
but what they're really trying to uncover.
the competencies, the thought processes, the leadership qualities, the whole shebang.
Love it. So question number 1, how did you become interested in pursuing a career in the military?
Seems simple, but there's layers to this one.
It's more than just a timeline, right?
Yeah.
It's about your passion, your motivations.
Exactly. What are those core values that led you down this path? Sense of duty, family tradition, something else entirely.
And this is where you can bring in what resonated with you from that Colonel Career Guide.
Oh, good point. Maybe a specific profile or aspect of the role that really grabbed you.
Because authenticity matters. You don't want to force a narrative.
Let that genuine enthusiasm shine through.
All right, question number 2.
Oh.
Can you describe your experience leading a team or unit in a high-pressure situation?
Here we go. This is where they really start digging into your leadership experience.
STAR method time. Situation, task, action, result.
Pick an example that showcases your ability to stay calm under pressure.
Make those decisive choices.
Then get your team on board to achieve that common goal.
Don't forget to highlight the skills that are directly relevant to a colonel's role. Strategic thinking, assessing risks, adapting to rapidly changing situations. You want to make that connection clear.
Oh, and be ready for those follow-up questions. Like, what did you learn from that experience? They want to see that you've reflected, grown as a leader because of it.
Okay, moving on. Question number 3. How do you stay up to date on the latest military technology and tactics?
This one's all about showcasing that dedication to continuous learning, professional development.
So publications you read, courses, conferences, even online forums where you engage with other military folks.
It all demonstrates that commitment to staying sharp. But don't just list activities.
Right. Explain what you gained from them, how they directly enhanced your knowledge or skills.
They're looking for that tangible impact. And they might ask, what specific technology or tactical development has caught your attention recently, and why?
To really test your awareness of current trends.
And your ability to think critically about their implications.
All right, question number 4. How do you balance the needs of your team with the needs of the mission?
Ooh, this gets to the heart of those tough leadership dilemmas.
Because sometimes those two things are in direct conflict.
A successful colonel finds that balance right, prioritizing the well-being of their team while also ensuring the mission's success.
So think of situations where you had to make tough choices, maybe allocating limited resources, delegating strategically. even making personal sacrifices for that greater objective.
And be ready for those follow-up questions. Like, can you give me a specific example where you had to make a difficult decision that impacted both your team and the mission?
They want to see your judgment, your empathy, how you weigh those competing priorities.
Because it's not always black and white. That ability to navigate the gray areas, that's what they're looking for.
Okay, on to question number 5. How do you manage conflict within your team?
Conflict's inevitable in any high-pressure environment. They want to know how you handle those tricky interpersonal dynamics.
Time to highlight those conflict resolution skills. Emphasize your ability to get to the root of the conflict, facilitate open communication, and find a solution that addresses everyone's needs.
Don't shy away from sharing examples where you had to mediate disputes, resolve personality clashes, even address insubordination.
Because these situations, when handled effectively, can actually demonstrate your leadership strength, that commitment to a cohesive team.
And they might ask, what's your approach to dealing with a team member who's consistently underperforming? Digging into your ability to give constructive feedback, set clear expectations, hold individuals accountable, while still maintaining that supportive environment.
It's a delicate balance. Okay, question number 6. How do you motivate and inspire your team to achieve their goals? This is all about your leadership style.
How you bring out the best in others, but go beyond just saying you're a motivational leader. Give concrete examples of how you've inspired your team in the past.
Did you set challenging but achievable goals? Offer public recognition for achievements. Foster a culture of collaboration and support.
Right. Different situations might require different approaches. Adapting your style based on team dynamics, the nature of the task, the level of stress involved.
And those follow-up questions might come in like, describe a time when you had to motivate a team facing a particularly difficult challenge.
This is where you showcase your resilience, your optimism, that ability to instill confidence even when the odds are stacked against you.
Okay, question number 7. Can you describe your experience working with international partners or allies? This is crucial in today's interconnected world.
They want to see that cultural sensitivity, those diplomatic skills, your ability to build strong relationships with people from all different backgrounds.
So highlight any experience with joint operations, multinational training exercises, collaborating with foreign military personnel.
And don't be afraid to talk about the challenges you faced. Language barriers, cultural misunderstandings, differing operational procedures.
It's about how you overcame those obstacles, fostered effective communication and cooperation.
They might even ask, how would you approach building trust and rapport with a new international partner?
A chance to really showcase your interpersonal skills, that cultural intelligence, your ability to find common ground, even when there are differences.
Because building bridges is crucial in this role.
All right, on to question number 8. How do you prioritize and allocate resources to achieve your objectives? This gets to the core of strategic planning and resource management.
Definitely. Here, they're looking for those analytical skills, data-driven decision-making, big picture thinking.
Walk them through your process. Do you start with a thorough needs assessment? How do you establish clear priorities? Consider potential risks and contingencies. Seek input from your team and stakeholders.
Right, because they might ask, describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision about resource allocation. What factors did you consider?
They want to see that balance between being resourceful and being decisive.
Making those tough choices, even with limited resources. That's key.
Okay, question number 9. How do you ensure the safety and well-being of your team members in a high-risk environment? And this goes beyond just listing safety protocols.
It's about showing genuine concern for your team's welfare.
Right. The interviewer wants to see that you prioritize safety without compromising the mission.
Highlight your proactive approach to risk assessment, your commitment to comprehensive training, that willingness to make tough calls when necessary to protect your team.
And be prepared for that question, like, describe a situation where you had to balance mission criticality with the safety of your team. What was your thought process and what actions did you take?
Because they want to see your judgment, your empathy, how you handle those high-pressure situations where lives are on the line.
And finally, question number 10. How do you build and maintain relationships with key stakeholders and partners? This is all about diplomacy, communication, building those bridges.
They want to know if you can effectively collaborate with people from all walks of life. Government officials, military leaders from other branches, even civilian contractors.
So highlight your ability to foster open communication, build trust, Find those mutually beneficial solutions. Share specific examples of how you've cultivated strong relationships with stakeholders in the past.
Oh, and be ready for that follow-up. Like, describe a time when you had to navigate a challenging relationship with a key stakeholder. How did you approach the situation?
This is where you showcase those conflict resolution skills again. Your ability to handle different personalities, your commitment to finding common ground even when there are disagreements.
Because ultimately, it's about building consensus, working towards a shared goal.
Wow, we just covered 10 crucial interview questions for aspiring colonels. And I had to say, this is where RoleCatcher's AI tools can be a real game changer.
For sure. Not only can they help you spot those missing skills on your CV, but they can give you that tailored feedback on your answers, helping you refine your responses, boost your confidence.
Like having a virtual coach in your corner.
Exactly. And for a high-stakes interview like this, that kind of advantage can make all the difference.
Now that we've tackled the questions, let's dive into what else RoleCatcher has to offer that can help you really shine during your interview.
RoleCatcher really goes all out with their resources. They have these awesome kernel core skills guides and kernel complementary skills guides. It's like they've broken down every skill you could possibly need.
I know. From advising higher-ups on operations to putting together detailed reports, it's incredible how thorough they are. It really makes you think about all the different paths someone could take as a colonel. You mentioned earlier that RoleCatcher has some cool insights into career progression. How can those insights help someone tailor their CV to stand out when moving from, say, a junior to a mid-level colonel?
That's a really good question. What's interesting is that the guide doesn't just list responsibilities. It provides a framework for understanding each stage. For example, notice how the emphasis shifts from tactical execution at the entry level to more strategic leadership at the senior level. Your CV should reflect that progression.
So it's about more than just listing what you did. It's about showcasing how your experience aligns with the expectations of each level. That's smart.
Exactly. A junior level colonel might emphasize their experience leading a specific project or team, focusing on the results they achieved. But as they move into a mid-level role, the focus should shift to their ability to manage multiple projects, mentor junior officers, and contribute to broader strategic initiatives.
Makes sense. You're not just competent, but growing and evolving as a leader. This brings me back to RoleCatcher's AI-powered tool. Can you tell us a bit more about how it helps someone fine-tune their CV for a colonel role?
Absolutely. The AI tool is great for that. It can analyze the specific requirements of a kernel job description and compare it to your CV. Let's say the job description emphasizes strategic planning and risk management. The tool can check if you've adequately highlighted those skills in your CV and then suggest improvements or additions. It's like having a personal editor who really understands military leadership roles.
Wow, that takes the guesswork out of tailoring your application. It must be helpful for interview answers too, right?
Absolutely. The AI can analyze your practice answers and give feedback on clarity, conciseness, and relevance to the specific question. It can even detect if you're using jargon or language that might not be easily understood by the interviewer.
It's almost like having a mock interview with an expert. I can see how that would be a huge confidence booster, especially for such a high-stakes interview. Thinking about these AI insights, it reminds me of those kernel core and complementary skills guides from RoleCatcher. Those seem like a treasure trove of information.
They really are. What's valuable about these guides is that they go beyond just generic leadership advice. They get into the specific skills crucial for success as a colonel, like operational planning, intelligence analysis, budget management, even ethical decision-making.
So it's like they've created a blueprint for developing the exact skill set needed to excel in this role.
Right. What's even more impressive is that they don't just define the skills. They provide practical guidance on how to develop them. They suggest courses, certifications, books, even mentorship opportunities that can help you build your expertise in each area.
That's incredibly helpful. Knowing what skills you need is one thing, but having a roadmap for actually developing them is amazing.
It's about empowering you to take ownership of your professional growth. This ties back to what we discussed about tailoring your CV and interview answers. By understanding those core and complementary skills, you can better highlight the experiences and accomplishments that demonstrate your mastery of those areas. It's all about connecting the dots.
It sounds like RoleCatcher has given us a complete package to prepare for this interview. We've covered the role in depth, tackled those tough questions, and explored the AI tools and skills guides. What does this all mean for our listener preparing for their colonel interview?
It means they're not just prepared, they're empowered. They're walking into that interview room with knowledge, strategies, and the confidence to shine. They've done the research, honed their skills, and crafted a compelling narrative that shows their leadership potential.
So they've gone above and beyond to show their commitment to this demanding but rewarding role, highlighting their unique strengths and experiences.
Exactly. And that's key. It's not about checking boxes. It's about showcasing what makes them stand out as a candidate.
Speaking of standing out, I want to bring up something crucial that we often overlook in interview prep: authenticity.
That's such an important point. It's so easy to get caught up in the technical aspects of interview prep, but that human element is just as important. The interviewers aren't looking for a robot who recites memorized answers. They want to see the person behind the CV.
The passion that drives you, the experiences that have shaped you.
Yes. Letting your true self shine through. And I think that's where RoleCatcher's resources really excel. They don't just provide information, they encourage self-reflection and help you create a narrative that's both authentic and compelling.
So they help you connect the dots between your experiences and what the role demands.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, the interview is only the first step. A successful interview opens the door to a long and fulfilling career as a colonel.
It's a journey that will challenge you, push you to your limits, but ultimately help you grow into the leader you are meant to be.
Embracing the challenges, learning from your experiences, and constantly striving for excellence. And remember, the resources we've discussed, RoleCatcher's Career Guide, the AI-powered tools, those incredible skills guides, are all designed to support you every step of the way.
They provide the tools and insights to help you navigate the modern military landscape with confidence.
Empowering you to take ownership of your career journey and maximize your potential.
That's powerful. You know, thinking about all these resources, I'm curious. RoleCatcher provides a wealth of information and tools, but it's up to the individual to use them. What advice would you give our listener about how to best leverage everything RoleCatcher has to offer?
It's all about being strategic, not just passively absorbing information. It's about actively engaging with the material and really tailoring it to your own goals, what you're hoping to achieve.
Taking ownership, not just relying on the tools to do all the work.
Right. For example, don't just skim through the Colonel Career Guide. Really spend some time with those example profiles.
Find the ones that speak to you.
Yeah. The ones whose career paths resonate. Ask yourself, what skills did they focus on? What experiences did they make sure to highlight? How did they handle the tough stuff, the setbacks?
It's like finding role models, people who've already walked the path you want to take, learning from their journey.
Exactly. And then use that to create your own plan. What are the gaps in your skill set? And how can you use the resources RoleCatcher provides, the skills guides, the AI tools, to strategically fill those gaps?
Not just waiting for opportunities, but actively creating them.
That's it. And remember, an interview is a two-way street. You're not just trying to impress them.
You're also figuring out if they're a good fit for you.
Right. Use the interview to learn about the organization's culture, their values, their leadership style.
Ask questions that show you're genuinely interested and help you decide if this is a place where you can really thrive, where your skills and values align.
And don't be afraid to just be yourself.
Authenticity is key.
They want to get to know you, not just a list of accomplishments on a piece of paper. Let your personality shine through. What are you passionate about? What motivates you? What makes you uniquely qualified for this role?
That's what will make you stand out. And hey, even if this specific interview doesn't lead to the job,
the preparation you've done, the skills you've honed, the insights you've gained, those are valuable no matter what.
they'll serve you well down the road.
The path to becoming a colonel, it's rarely a straight line. There will be bumps along the way, but it's a journey of incredible growth.
Challenges and setbacks, but ultimately it's about fulfillment.
Embracing those challenges, learning from every experience, and never giving up on what you're striving for.
And we're here to support you along the way. With the resources and strategies we've talked about today, you're well equipped to handle whatever comes your way.
Take ownership of your journey. Maximize your potential.
So, best of luck in your colonel interview. We know you're going to make a fantastic impression. Remember, be yourself, use those amazing tools you have, and never stop learning.
We can't wait to hear about your success.
And until next time, keep diving deep, explore those possibilities, and see where this journey takes you.